less and less space for any sort of oppositional parties against the norm of the Communist Party. And we just learned today that one of the last remaining democratic parties is shutting down because the pressures are too immense for them. And the Hong Kong, for a long time, I would say, has been growing closer and closer to being a regular mainland city. And I think it's probably fair to say that that transformation is complete.
Monday saw the 5th anniversary of Beijing's security law governing Hong Kong, which the authorities argued was needed to restore order, but pro-democracy activists say was designed to stifle their freedom to advance their aims. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer could face his biggest rebellion since taking office later when lawmakers vote on planned reforms to welfare payments. Dozens of his own MPs are expected to vote against the government. More than 1,300 schools are closed in France as Europe's first major heatwave of the summer continues. And at least 35 people have died in a blast at a pharmaceutical plant in southern India as rescue operations there continue. That's the latest feature story news. Stuart Smith reporting.
KCHW headlines. I'm Chuck Ritchie. 2 firefighters were murdered yesterday after a man intentionally set a fire. The 20-year-old Wes Rowley sat in ambush waiting for firefighters to arrive. Crews responded to the fire at Canfield Mountain, just north of Coeur d'Alene, at about 1:30 p.m. Then gunshots were reported about 30 minutes later. Rowley is the only suspect believed to be involved in the incident. Our hearts and best wishes go out to the firefighters and their families after this horrible tragedy. The controversial plan to sell off huge chunks of public land in the West, including parts of Washington and Idaho, got yanked from the Republican tax and spending bill over the weekend. Utah Senator Mike Lee, who came up with the idea, has withdrawn it. He says he couldn't get the guarantees he wanted, that the land would only go to American families, not foreign interests like China or BlackRock. The whole point, he said, was to make housing more affordable. The sprawling tax and health care bill would add at least $3.3 trillion to the already bulging national debt. That's what the Congressional Budget Office says, putting a much higher price tag on the measure than some of the party's fiscal hawks have said they could stomach. And meanwhile, Senate Republicans have quietly snuck in provisions that would not only end federal support for wind and solar energy, but would impose an entirely new tax on future projects. Industry groups say it could devastate the renewable power industry. In our last story, you can get ready for higher prices at the pump. Washington's gas tax goes up 6 cents a gallon starting tomorrow. The hike aims to fix a billion-dollar gap caused by higher construction costs and less gas money coming in from more fuel-efficient and electric cars. The tax will go from 49.4 cents to 55.4 cents a gallon, and there will be a 2% annual increase to keep up with inflation. Diesel fuel will also see a 9-cent tax hike. For KCHW 102.7, I'm Chuck Ritchie.
It is a surprise. Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7. Getting started on a Tuesday. It's Scott and his beautiful sister Val.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for being here along with me this morning. And I'm so glad you have recovered from your little cold.
Yeah, just a little bit of a cough here and there yet. But I am definitely feeling almost back to normal.
Yeah,
although normal is relative.
I was going to say that'll probably never, ever quite happen. You've got a warm one today. Actually, that's me. I don't know why I have it set to open up Chihuahua weather, but we both do. So for Chihuahua, 97 for a high temperature today. I'm like 86 with lots of sunshine, too. Down to 63 tonight with a few passing clouds. Then for your Wednesday, 91 with morning clouds and afternoon sun. Cool it off after Wednesday. Thursday, 85. Friday, 83 and partly cloudy. Saturday, 83, partly cloudy. Back to the sun on Sunday, 89. And you'll kick off next week, Monday, 93. And then you're knocking on heaven's door because it's going to be 100.
Oh, Ken says the morning show is as hot as our weather.
Oh, all right. Did you pay him for that one, Val?
Yeah, checks in the mail, Ken.
Checks in the mail, Ken. All right. Looking at community stuff today. It is a little light on the community calendar. Of course, it is a Tuesday. You can sit and knit with your friends at the Cheweel Center for the Arts from 2 to 4. Cheweel Library Storytime for the kids. That's this morning, 10:30 to 11:30. Wednesdays at the library between 10 and 3. You can catch up with Ted and find out about opening a new business in Stevens County. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they have library tech help, and that's where you can bring in a laptop, cell phone, something small, probably not your desktop, but they will help you with any technical challenges you have. All right. Thursday takes us to the food bank, open 10 to 2, a spotlight gallery and gathering going on along with First Thursday Art Walk. That all starts at 5 o'clock on Thursday on the streets of Cheweel. It'll be a beautiful evening. Get out and enjoy that. Friday brings you your farmer's market, 11 to 3. And it's their Independence Day celebration at the farmer's market as well. So go down there and check it out. They always have fun stuff going on. Let's see what kind of... See, I'm going to open it up right now and see if they've got any games that coincide with that, if they left a note. That is it, just the farmer's market. So I don't know if I know this cherry spot's already over with. So don't quote me on anything. All right.
I was laughing about the technical help at the library. We have with our T-Mobile, we get Starlink texting. So no matter where you are, as long as you have a GPS signal, you can text through that. So now when we're up camping, if we need to, we can send out texts.
Well, that's kind of handy.
Yeah, it's been really nice. I mean, there's a whole long story about that. That was one of those, thank goodness we have at moments. We have a friend that had a family emergency when we were up camping, and so it was like one of those, and we'd just gotten in. And but anyway, where was I going with this whole story? There was a point, and it's now just, so anyway, Brad's like, we should teach Mom to text so that, if she ever needed to get a hold of us, she could send us a text. And I was like, you're kidding, right? I mean, our 90-year-old mom might have figured out how to text. There's no way in God's green earth his mom is going to figure it out without making me go completely bonkers.
She doesn't have those kind of skills, is what you're saying.
She does great with Facebook. She'll respond to Facebook posts, and she'll use a little, funny pictures that come up. She can do all that really well, but I just know that would be one thing that I don't have a lot of confidence she could figure out.
You've told me about the Wi-Fi. Enough said. All right. Move on to a few news headlines.
Sure, why not?
All right. Trump will travel to Florida Everglades today for the opening of a new immigration detention facility, informally called Alligator Alcatraz. Located at an isolated strip in swampland and surrounded by alligators, it could house up to 5,000 people as part of Trump's effort to ramp up deportations by expanding detention capacity. I hope somebody gets attacked by an alligator. A person who deserves it most should get attacked by an alligator. Let's just say that. Facility has faced pushback from Democrats, local indigenous leaders, and activist groups over humanitarian and environmental concerns, with one group suing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' administration to prevent the complex opening. Hope they win. We'll keep moving on. WNBA expansion announced it's going to expand to 18 teams over the next 5 years, with Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia joining the league by 2030. The demand for women's basketball has never been higher, they say.
That's awesome.
Yay. All right, Senate is in the midst of a marathon vote on President Trump's bill, with the GOP working to find the 51 votes needed to pass it. Former Doge head Elon Musk, vocal critic of the bill, vowed to support primary challenges to Republicans who back it. Oh, all right.
I believe it when I see it. It's like the same as the senators and representatives who swear they're not going to vote against it because it's bad and it has this provision and it's going to hurt their constituents. And then by voting time, they seem to have somehow been strong-armed into changing their mind.
I did something cool yesterday. I sent Elon Musk a reversible jacket, one color on one side and red on one side, blue on the other, so he can change colors whenever he wants. Loser. All right. Horrible story, but it's about time, and shame on him for running it out this long. What a horrible person, obviously. Brian Koberg, the man accused of killing the 4 University of Idaho students 2022, has agreed to plead guilty to all charges. It's about time.
And his family, I was like, why is his family so upset? You'd think they'd be glad that this was finally kind of, wrapping up. Instead, it's been dragging on for how long already? And Brad's like, it's because they're taking the death penalty off the table.
Oh.
That his family is not happy with the situation.
So they took it off the table, or they didn't? What are you saying?
No, they're taking, if he pleads guilty, that's part of it, is the death penalty comes off. I mean, there's no chance that he'll get the death penalty. So.
Well, it was drug out long enough, those poor families.
Oh my gosh. I mean, every time they thought that the trial date had been set, it got changed. I would just rather personally have it be over with, but I'm not a family member who's had that horrendous loss either. So.
All right, Sean Diddy Combs' trial. Jury deliberations began in his trafficking trial yesterday, but were briefly derailed when the group told the judge one of the jurors will not follow instructions. Deliberations will continue today after the judge reminded the jury of its duties. And probably some threats in there, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right. Let's see. On the field, after last night's shutout, the Padres try to even the score when they take on the Phillies tonight, 6:35 p.m. Eastern on the Major League Baseball app. And that's the only heads up I had in sports for today. So there you go. A few more new things you might not have caught in the news. That bill they're trying to pass, try and reverse every positive thing we've done for the environment. In his new bill, Trump has added solar and wind taxes and opened up more coal.
Do you feel like he just finds anything that could be bad for the environment, anything that could
humanity.
be bad for humanity, anything that could be bad for the tax-paying lower, middle and lower income people, and then he just does it?
Yeah, it's greed run amok in Washington, and you thought it couldn't get worse, but it did.
Uh-huh.
That's what we get for thinking. All right. Immigration raids, ICE raids in California we're going to have food problems because of this too. They're empty. There's nobody to pick the crops. People will not show up to work. They're afraid of getting picked up. So look for everything that comes out of California to either be non-existent or ridiculously high priced.
It seems that's what people voted for. There was a gentleman that was talking. He had I can't remember what nationality he was, but he has been here like 25 years. He'd actually served in our armed forces. After he got out, he developed PTSD, and so had a drug problem for a while. Ended up getting a felony over it. And so that was 20 years ago. He has been a law-abiding citizen ever since, and they are deporting him.
Wow. Yeah.
After he served in our armed services.
Lots of stories like that. And there's so much we could go on for hours about the travesties that are happening around the country. Because of our current president and the policies.
And I don't think it's really going to hit people until, like you said, you can't get your lemons or limes or avocados or, I'm just thinking off the top of my head of the citrus products that you normally get from California. I mean, I don't think we realize kind of the stuff that comes out of there, pistachios and things like that. So when you suddenly can't get food, or when it costs you a ton of money to get it, maybe that's a heads up.
All right, there you go. That's some news headlines. We're going to move on to the lighter stuff and do bits and breaks this morning. I think we need a transition moment. And that's how we feel about that. All right, bits and breaks this morning. Val kicks off this morning's first joke.
Am I doing the one that you had under? Oh, that's last. Okay. Okay. Are we starting with the picnic tip of July tip? I guess I'm lost.
Yes. The first
right.
thing up there was an extra story for odd news because it was cute.
Okay. All right. Here's the 4th of July picnic tip for you, Scott.
Okay.
All right. If it's too hot to hold your hand over, your potato salad has been out in the sun too long.
Oh, warm potato salad. Potato salad to me is gross anyways, but if it's warm, it's totally unedible.
Really? Because, I mean, that if you had like a Last Supper that, is like this is your last meal you're ever going to have, mine would be potato salad. But not just any potato salad. It would have to be my own. So I'm going to have to cook my own last meal. But it would be worth it because I love a good potato salad.
Oh, yuck. All right. I never mess with fireworks on the 4th anymore, Val.
Really? How come?
Because I want to have all my fingers because I don't want to ever have to go back to being a foot model.
Why do you need your fingers if you're going to be a foot model?
Well, if I don't have any fingers, that's the only way I might be able to make some extra coin. Is going back to being a foot model. So
Gotcha. Okay, I'm catching up.
I used to be all thumbs until those M80s. Did that look good on the camera?
Yeah.
Remember those 2 M80s you threw at me, Val, and I caught them?
Yeah. Ken just pointed out to me the most important crop in California that may be affected by all of this.
Weed?
Grapes.
Grapes. Oh, are you going to be okay, Val?
Wine.
Val, lucky you grow your own.
Of all the rich treasures man gets from the earth and Mother Nature, none has been more highly esteemed than wine. Good, delicious wine.
There you go, Val.
Good, delicious, expensive wine.
Not only does she make it herself, she sleeps in it. And bathes in it. She's got a wine jacuzzi. Wouldn't that be fun? Why y'all purple? Jacuzzi. It's my new wine jacuzzi. All right, Val, talk about it's grilling weekend as we head toward the 4th of July. We got it on a Friday. Going to be a big weekend this year. Lots of fireworks, I'm sure. Telling us about all the grilling that goes on, Val.
All right, about 50 million grills will be fired up on the 4th of July.
Okay.
All right.
50 million.
Almost 1 billion charcoal briquettes will be used.
Ah.
I cannot remember the last time I barbecued with briquettes. Maybe 40 years. I don't know.
It adds an interesting flavor.
It does. I don't think maybe I've never personally barbecued with briquettes because I don't remember having to do that. All right. 200 million steaks and 154 million hamburgers will be placed on grills.
But no stats on how many hot dogs.
No, and it kind of blows my mind that there's more steaks than hamburgers.
Americans.
Because I don't know. It just doesn't seem like I'm not cooking steaks for all my friends. I might throw some burgers and hot dogs on the grill for them. But I'm sorry. I'm not cooking you steak, Ken.
You're not that important, Ken. See, she said it right here on the radio for everyone to hear. Wow, Val.
And finally, about 50 million gallons of beer will wash all of that stuff down.
Yay.
Great job, team. Head back to base for debriefing and cocktails.
All right. Going along with that, it is July 1st, and ice cream, always popular during the 4th of July. Today happens to be Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know my personal favorite to mix ice creams is mint chocolate chip and French vanilla. Makes the best shake on the planet.
Well, I can see those two combinations. That sounds really good.
Yeah, you got to use the you can't use the fancy mint chocolate chip like Breyers or Ben and Jerry's or something like that. It's got to be that cheap old green nasty mint chocolate chip, and there's something about that and the French vanilla. Plus, it's always fun to have a green shake.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what would be a creative ice cream flavor. What would be really super creative that's not already been done? Because I mean, we've
Wine.
talked about this. No, there you go. No, they do make a wine ice cream. I'm trying to think of, because we've talked about it before when we were kids. I mean, you had your basics. You had chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, Neapolitan, and maple nut. We're kind of, I mean, about the only flavors you'd find, wasn't it?
Yeah, dogs wouldn't even eat maple nut.
Oh, see, I liked a maple nut ice cream.
Nasty.
And I don't know why I hated Neapolitan. I mean, it had good flavors in it,
And
but
no,
I just
it's
didn't
something
like them all
about
mixed together.
Yeah, it's something about when you put those three flavors in the same bucket, you've just made them all turn nasty.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
And making a
but-
shake out of Neapolitan, here's a shake of absolutely nothing, and it's flavorless, but it's cold.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I mean, now look at just the amount of different vanillas. You have vanilla, vanilla bean, classic vanilla, old-fashioned vanilla. So you can come up with 5 different just vanillas in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Ken's making comments we cannot repeat.
Well, he did make a comment about you being a foot model, and he's like, "What? He's only a foot tall."
Hence why I became a foot model. Look at that guy. He's all feet. All right.
Like a gnome.
Yeah. Things July has for us. And first up on the list, it's exciting, of course. We started with July 1st being Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day. We'll find out about the rest of the goofy holidays later. But things that come up in July, Wimbledon. Started on June 30th, runs from July 13th. Val, have you ever watched tennis on television?
No.
Who watches tennis on TV? Much less in person. I'm just wondering. I've never met anybody who goes, oh, man, I'm off to Wimbledon this weekend. I'm so excited. Taking a big trip. Going to catch Wimbledon.
Or it's, I'm sorry, I can't go out on the lake with you today. I have to watch Wimbledon.
I'm sure you're out there. We're just wondering where.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, I've caught a match here and there when you've got a big match. It just happens to, as you're scrolling through the channels or whatever. But yeah, no, I'm not. No.
Would it be sexist if I said ladies tennis okay, men's tennis boring?
I was waiting for that comment actually from you.
Well, Val, if you were waiting for that comment, you were wrong because I dislike them both. I will pause for a second on one, though. All right. Friday is Independence Day. Sky's going to be filled with lights and booms, and that's just the missiles.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, it's possible, though. Plus, there will be mattress sales.
Isn't it funny that you have mattress sales on like particular weekends? Isn't it like President's Day is a big mattress sale day, and 4th of July? I don't get the 4th of July thing though.
Years ago when I worked at KXOY, I was the mattress guy. If there was a live broadcast going on in Spokane at a mattress store, Scott was there. I wasn't getting paid. I was just there. No, I'm kidding. I was there.
I mean, I could see the blow-up mattress sales being high this time of year.
Wow. 2025 Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest is Friday for the 4th.
Have you ever had a Nathan's hot dog, or is it just because that must be a brand of hot dogs?
It is.
Right?
I'm not, and I don't know what part of the country they come from. I've never seen them on a shelf.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
The wife carrying world championship is this weekend. That's why I got divorced.
Your last wife should have carried you.
She did. A couple times. I almost at a rest area got into it with a truck driver, and she got in the middle of it and he ran. I think he realized, hey, I can take on the little guy, but she's got a foot on me.
And if I don't shut up, it's going to be on my neck.
Yeah, he was upset because he hit my motorhome. He said, I shouldn't have parked there. And I said, what, in the spot for an RV? Yeah, seeing how I'm in all the lines. Oops. All right, Major League Baseball All-Star Game, July 15th in Atlanta. The ESPY Awards air July 16th. And Lady Gaga kicks off the Mayhem Ball on July 16th in Las Vegas, launching her major global tour.
The Mayhem Ball.
Yeah. All right. The World Santa Claus Congress is happening in Canada. They're not letting us in this year, though. No Americans. That's a joke.
No Americans.
No, it's a joke. It's going to take place in Niagara Falls, Ontario, from July 21st to 24th. This event brings together Santas, Mrs. Clauses, and Christmas entertainers from around the globe for a 4-day celebration filled with activities, gatherings, and holiday fun.
How exciting. We have 2 different friends that play Santa Claus really, really well. I should let them know about that.
Yeah, they need to go to the Santa Claus Congress.
Yes.
My favorite, San Diego Comic-Con International, running July 24th to 27th. If I was filthy rich, I'd take a trip to go to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. July will be a big month for movies. Get this, Val. We get Jurassic Park World Rebirth, Superman. Now, Jurassic World is tomorrow. No, it's the 2nd. It's Wednesday. Superman, July 11th. The Fantastic Four, July 25th. I think Pedro Pascal's going to regret doing that movie. Have you seen him in his outfit?
No, huh?
He looks ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nothing like posing in tights for the TV. Yeah, it's. I mean, the Fantastic Four movies never really got off the ground. I'm not expecting this one to. I think that's why they hired them, because if anybody could make somebody go to a Fantastic Four movie, it would be Pedro. So yeah, people love Pedro.
And I don't know if he was ever even on my radar before The Last of Us. So.
Oh, he's been in so many character actors. A lot of times a bad guy. And he's been in some huge movies like a Bourne movie and other stuff like that. And that's what when I first got popular and I saw him in a few things that I liked, I was like, who's that guy? And I looked at his, years ago at his he's been around forever. He just never came into his own and became famous till he was an older man. But congrats to him.
No kidding.
You become an ultra famous in your late 40s. That's pretty cool. You don't see that a lot,
And I don't think it's very often that a zombie movie launches your career. I mean, it brings you to prominence anyway. I shouldn't say launches your career.
No, because his work with Disney, on The Mandalorian and stuff, that was huge. He's had a lot of big movies. I think you probably just didn't notice him.
I must not have.
The last movie on this list, though, is Happy Gilmore 2, which is straight to video on Netflix. It's like, Adam Sandler used to do blockbuster movies, but ever since he made that deal with Netflix, it's just gone downhill. I mean, he did that Hubie Halloween trying to recreate his Waterboy character, and Happy Gilmore was a blockbuster beloved movie. The fact that it's not even going to theaters, wow.
I think, at some point people get tired of the shtick.
Yeah.
I think maybe.
That's why nobody listens to the morning show.
Exactly.
I'm listening to Scott for 15 years. One day a week is still too much, Scott. All right. Things that bite. One of the most dangerous creatures on the planet. Most dangerous creature on the planet. Val's already read the story, so I can't ask you what it would be.
No, you can't ask me.
It has to be one of them. Wait till the last fact that Val's going to give you. Everything you wanted to know about the mosquito.
And we were having this conversation because we were out camping last week. The little black flies or whatever they are so horrific. And the welt they leave on you is so terrible that we were like, we'd rather have mosquitoes.
Yes, that's the way it is here. And I never noticed black flies at all in Washington, at least in the area, where we're from. But you've been talking about them. You've had them at your property before. But maybe they're becoming more prevalent in Washington now.
I think the thing is it used to be a mid-spring thing here. So it'd be about 3 weeks in May when they would be really bad, and then you wouldn't see them again. And the last couple years, I mean, when you're up in the mountains riding side by sides or whatever, you stop anywhere for a break and you are immediately swarmed. And that goes on all summer long. And it just never used to be like that. It's just been in the last 2-3 years that they're just horrible.
And the East Coast has a hard, especially where in the wooded areas like Maine, they have a really bad problem with them too. And they are absolutely horrible. But nature kind of, I guess, where you can tell when they're going to end, because about the second week of June since I've lived here, the dragonflies come in and they swarm and they're taking out the last of the black flies. And you can be outside working in the yard and you will have a black fly like in your face, like trying to get you. And a dragonfly will zoom right in and take it. I've seen it so many times. It's awesome. You're out there working like, ooh, a dragonfly. And it seems like they notice if you're a human in panic and you're flailing your arms and waving at something, and all of a sudden you'll have 3 dragonflies around you. And they know that the black flies go after humans. So while you're out working, you're swarmed by dragonflies, which they are one of the most deadly species to species they eat. I was reading on dragonflies the other day, 90% kill rate. I think I said that last week. Like 86% of the things they go after they kill. They said no other creature on the planet has that kind of kill rate as a dragonfly. But yeah, I talk to them like they can understand me and thank them and all that kind of stuff, because once they show up, you're like, oh, wow, I can work outside and not wear a bug suit.
There you go. So, I mean, we bought the hats with a netting on them just so you could be outside at different times. But so, yeah, this weekend, I mean, that was what you were fighting off, was the black flies. And they may not necessarily land on you when you have, mosquito spray on you, but they're still like flying up your nose. I inhaled 2 of them over the weekend.
Oh, yum.
And it's like, So anyway, it definitely has changed, but we'll get back to the mosquito story.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right. First fact here, 3,000 mosquito species occur worldwide.
Wow.
You don't think of having like different types of mosquitoes, really, do you? I mean, you just think it's one, throw them all into one lump of mosquitoes. All right. A single female can lay over 200 eggs at a time. And mosquito eggs can survive for more than 5 years.
Wow.
Oh. All mosquitoes need water to complete their life cycle, especially standing water, I imagine. Not all species bite humans. Some prefer birds, others prefer horses, and some even bite frogs and turtles.
Ooh. Oh, so sad.
No kidding. You think it'd be hard to get through their, skin. Huh. All right. Only females take blood. Males feed only on plant nectar.
That is spot on. As far as I'm concerned, that's in every species.
Mosquitoes can fly considerable distances. Some species remain close to their larval habitats, while others can fly 20 miles or more.
I'm sorry, you had me at only females take blood.
I know, you're still stuck on that, aren't you?
I get it.
Mosquitoes do not develop in grass or shrubbery, although adults frequently rest in those areas during daylight hours.
Oh.
And finally, last one, and this is what Scott was teasing about earlier. Worldwide, mosquito-borne diseases kill around 600,000 people every year.
That's one of the top killers in the world, then, is the mosquito.
Wow.
That's crazy. Scary, kind of crazy.
It is scary. Yeah. I guess we don't think about it normally here in the United States.
Because it's not very often that we hear that there's a West Nile virus or something that you need to be scared of.
Right, or I guess it's malaria that takes that many people then.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's crazy.
Must be more than that because they say mosquito-borne illnesses. You know what's really sad too is reading that because of pesticides, that the fireflies are almost non-existent. Dragonflies are going extinct. Butterflies are going extinct. But mosquitoes, they don't seem to have a problem with all that spray, do they?
Mosquitoes and cockroaches.
So it's gotten to the point where when the lightning bugs show up, I unplug the bug killer.
There you go.
I'll turn one on for campers and stuff. The mosquitoes are bad. But if I see one lightning bug flickering, I will unplug it. And really sad since I've been here now. This is my 4th summer. The first summer, I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of fireflies. The next summer, 1,000 fireflies. Last summer, maybe 100. This year, maybe 25 in the field.
Wow.
And instead of being here for 3 weeks to 30 days, 2 weeks max, and they're gone. Really sad. I mean, that's one of the coolest bugs we have. It doesn't bite you, and it blinks.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's sad stuff, and it's pesticides.
Yeah. Mosquito-borne illnesses include malaria, dengue fever, West Nile virus, yellow fever, and the Zika virus comes from mosquitoes.
That's right. All right. Let's move on. And something else I grabbed this morning. It's called The Junk Food You Eat Reveals Your Personality.
Okay.
All right. So if you eat pretzels, it means you're a flirt and you're very lively and energetic. Maybe,
all right.
Possibly a bit salty. All right. Sour gummies say you have high standards and a sharp sense of balance. You're emotionally complex, maybe a bit overwhelmed, and ultimately well-balanced.
Okay.
Because you eat gummies?
Sour ones.
Oh, all right. Sweet and salty fans both crave sweet and savory, which means they're adaptable, sociable, and enjoy variety.
Right. Okay.
Val, you like the potato chip?
It depends on the potato chip.
Oh, well, if you're a potato chip fan, you're a real go-getter who will not take no for an answer.
Okay.
Hey, wow. Sounds angry.
I don't feel like that fits.
All right. Tortilla chips mean you're a perfectionist, and A is not good enough for you. It has to be an A+.
I feel like, again, there's so many flavors that have come out. So, I mean, with a tortilla chip, tortilla chip by itself, but you dip it in salsa and sour cream, I mean, then it's great.
Yeah.
Lime chip?
Yeah. Nothing. No. Bad. Nobody wants it.
Yeah, exactly.
Might as well step on it on the floor. All right. Beef jerky means you're kind of a jerk. No.
Oh.
No, it doesn't. It means you're the life of the party, believe it or not. Yeah, whip out that Slim Jim. You're outgoing and gregarious.
I didn't know who came up with this stuff.
Yeah. Classic candy bar means you're dramatic, charming, flirtatious. Cracker eaters are thoughtful and sensitive, contemplative multitaskers who could use a drink of water. And spicy snackers like how do you call them? Takais? I've seen them before in a bag.
Yeah.
Flamin' Hot, Cheetos, etc. You're a thrill seeker, always up for adventure, and you should probably have a breath mint.
I'm a fan of the Flaming Hot Cheetos, but they pretty soon you're like, ooh, I probably should have stopped a couple handfuls ago.
So they can start a campfire really well, and actually, if you put a lighter in front of your mouth after eating half a bag and blow, you'll torch up.
We've been on the Costco has a Korean barbecue pork rind that is really very good. It's a little on the spicy hot side, but it's really pretty tasty. So you know what that means?
Yes.
They're going to quit carrying them now.
Yes. Ooh, it's delicious. People love it, but not enough.
Yeah.
All right, we touched base on this earlier that July 4th is the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest. And here's Val with the International Federation of Competing Eating World Records.
All right.
And I will
In
provide
the
the
hot dog
belches, okay?
Men's division.
Okay.
A 76, Nathan's Famous Hot Dogs and Buns in 10 Minutes by Joey Chestnut in 2021.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Sounds disgusting. If you didn't know, there is actually a butter eating contest. The record holder is Don Learman, who in 2001 ate 7 quarter-pound sticks of salted butter in 5 minutes.
Oh. I'm just thinking about the after effects of that one. Wow, that is too much butter. I mean, I like butter, and I can eat Finlandia by the cube, but come on.
Now, I mean, I would think everybody would know there's got to be a chicken wing eating contest in there somewhere.
Right.
In 2019, 281 buffalo chicken wings were eaten by Jeffrey Esper in just 12 minutes.
281 chicken wings in 12 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
What's the matter with your tummy, Colonel Sanders?
Can't believe you didn't choke on a chicken wing bone, though.
Wow. Wow.
Pulled pork sandwiches, 45 pulled pork sandwiches in just 10 minutes by Joey Chestnut in 2007. I'm surprised that record hasn't been beat in the last 18 years.
45 sandwiches. You're not talking about is that like a full sandwich?
I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, bun, it must be bun and all.
Wow. Okay. Because he can eat
All
76 hot dogs, but only 45 pulled pork sandwiches.
Exactly. In 2006, Eric the Red in Denmark ate 4 pounds of 15-ounce spot shrimp in 12 minutes.
Wow. 14 pounds, 15 ounces of shrimp, so almost 5 pounds. Wow.
Right, 4 pounds, 15 ounces. Yeah, I might have stumbled over that. Here's an eating contest that you may want to try, Scott.
Oh.
In 2002, Greg Zornitsky ate 4 32-ounce bowls of mayonnaise in 8 minutes.
A 32-ounce bowl would be the exact size of the large mayonnaise
jar. Yeah.
Yeah. So he ate 4 full jars of mayonnaise in how many minutes?
In 8 minutes.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It is really disgusting.
Oh, why would you? I don't care how much money they offered.
I can't imagine even sitting down in one setting, like in a day.
I can't
and
even
eating
one.
a jar of mayonnaise.
Sorry.
I can see Scott going for this record.
Okay.
How about a spam eating contest?
No.
9.75 pounds of spam from the can in 8 minutes by Jeffrey Esper, who did that in 2021.
Wow. Hats off.
Hats off.
Now
this one.
This one and the very last one I could do.
Yeah, I'm thinking this one too. Sonia Thomas in 2004 was able to eat 11 pounds of cheesecake in just 9 minutes.
The funny thing about the cheesecake outing contest, only women have ever won it. Sorry. Had to.
Gosh, this one. This one. Eric Badlands Booker in 2020. You got to probably pay attention to that nickname. Eric Badlands Booker in 2020 ate 10 pounds of baked beans in 1 minute.
I'm picking up a heavy, creepy vibe
here. It's dangerous. Dangerous, man.
And I did misread that. It was 1 minute, 45 seconds, but still, that's a lot of beans, Eric.
In under 2 minutes, he ate 10 pounds of beans. So he just poured the bucket. Wow.
All right. And finally, because Scott said he could do this, in 2002, Cookie Jarvis ate 91 Chinese dumplings in 8 minutes.
Yeah, I did 90, and he turned to me and said,
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Only 90 dumplings.
Only 90. Gosh, Scott, step it up.
I know. I'm working on it. I love a good dumpling. All right, there you go. That was kind of our summer stuff. Yeah. I got a couple other things here. 4 things you didn't know yesterday. 15% of women don't know how to check tire pressure versus 4% of men. 15% of women don't know how to check the tire pressure. Okay. In 2005, Sylvester Stallone published a men's magazine called Sly. It ceased publication after 6 issues.
I wonder what he had in it. What kind of articles?
I had cartoons of my muscles. All right. International Space Station resupply ships usually carry about 8 tons of supplies. Wow.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow. Why are they always running out then? You imagine how much garbage they're leaving in space.
Oh.
All right.
That's probably true.
The average person has over 1,400 dreams a year. Poor Scotty hasn't even had one.
You know, they say if you don't dream, you go cray-cray.
Yep. All right. Let's talk about crazy and do a little head-to-head trivia right here on KCHW.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
It's Scott and Val, and we're related.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
We both got the same genes from our parents, so neither one of us will be getting any answers correct. Although,
pretty much.
I might do a little better because Dad always said I must be from the milkman. He did. He told me that all the time because I didn't like sauerkraut.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't a good
That's
German.
un-German.
Yeah, so un-German of me. All right, Val, I don't even know if there was trivia questions for today because I haven't cheated yet.
Oh, good. There are only 2 for today.
Oh, all right. Then it's going to be painful for you. I would like to start then since you only have 2. And my first question for you, Val, is each year the average family throws away 150 pounds of this.
Can we just go like fresh produce?
It's not a food.
Oh, they throw away 150 like water bottles?
I'll take that. Plastic.
Okay.
All right. You were in the neighborhood. Okay.
All right. Thanks for giving that to me then.
You're welcome.
All right. One for you. Even though both CBS and NBC broadcast it, neither kept a tape.
They both broadcast it, but neither kept a tape. And I'm imagining it was something monumental like the first walk on the moon.
You're very close. It was a first of something.
They never kept a tape of it. Was it the very first broadcast?
Nope.
No, they wouldn't have tape yet. What? Can I have a hint of what?
I'm going to give you a big hint, probably. But it is a sporting event.
Was the first football, world's first World Series, something like that?
Yes, I'll give you that. It was the very first Super Bowl.
Very first Super Bowl. Nobody
They
kept
both
it.
broadcast it. Nobody kept a tape. In 2011, though, a partial recording of the CBS telecast was discovered in a private home and later restored. This version is incomplete, missing the halftime show and much of the third quarter.
Whoa. Wow. How did they record it?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah. They must have been running like a film camera or something at the TV. Wow.
And I think the thing that's really missing from that whole story is what year that was.
Yeah. Oh, football people know. All right, this is a tough one, Val. I'm going to anticipate you won't get any of them right. I heard the other day that Illinois leads the country in production of horseradish. I'm going to name some crops, and you got to tell me where they're grown the most. So this is called Where's It Grown?
Okay.
All right.
I'm sure it's going to be places you've never think of.
Where's it grown? All right, we'll start off marijuana. Just kidding.
Every state in the union?
Yeah, 38 of them now. All right. Popcorn. Where's it grown, Val? Popcorn.
Popcorn. I'm going to go with someplace like Nebraska.
You are exactly right. How did you know it was Nebraska? Are you cheating, Val?
No, I started to say Kansas, but something told me it was probably Nebraska.
All right. I'm going to make it easier for you. I'm going to give you 2 states, and you got to pick the right one. How's that?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Pumpkins. Let's see. Georgia or Illinois?
I'm going to go with Illinois.
That was a good guess. I know Indiana right next to him. Huge with the pumpkins. Huge.
Oh, okay.
All right. The beloved cabbage, California or Texas?
Ooh. What grows in Texas? I'm going to say California.
Yeah, and that cabbage is not getting picked today. You will have no cabbage this year, just to warn you.
Yeah. Scott will be glad there's not as much sauerkraut, but...
Yeah. Christmas trees, because every time I see a jar of sauerkraut, I remember what my dad told me. You're not mine. Same thing he told me when I said, hey, Dad, I'm allergic to beer. You're not mine. Our Christmas trees, Val. Michigan or... I don't want to give you... You're gonna. If I tell you the state, you're going to know exactly which one it is.
If you say the other state?
Yeah, I don't want to give you two. It's not Washington.
What's that?
It's not Washington or Idaho.
I want to say it's... I don't know why. I want to say Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Minnesota.
They don't even have pine trees there, Val. It has to, since they're Christmas trees, you should probably have a state that's got a little pine in it.
Minnesota doesn't?
And
Northern Minnesota?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll go with Maine.
No, we're looking for Oregon today. That was your hint.
Oh.
It's not Washington or Idaho. Who else could it be?
Well, there's still 48 other states.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
I was. No, it's Oregon. All right, last one. Watermelon, Texas or Florida?
Florida.
Yeah, it's a fruit. It has to be Florida.
Yeah, exactly. And again, what's grown in Texas? Nothing.
Cows.
Cows.
Yeah, cows.
Oil.
I mean, if you drive by, sometimes they're in their it's the most disgusting thing you can see in Texas is a cattle farm. You will drive by one, you will have to hold your nose because these are corporate cattle farms. And in one tiny pen, you will see 100 cows in the smallest confinement space you can imagine. And they are all up to their knees in their own poo. It's enough to make you never eat another hamburger. Yeah.
I can see that, yes.
Cows are intelligent. If you ever lived around a cow, they're pretty smart, and they love their babies. Yeah, we shouldn't be eating them. But I love me a good hamburger, too, so I'm just as guilty.
Yeah.
So boo me. Thank you. I stood up for the cow as I'm eating one behind your back.
Exactly.
All right, do you have another trivia for me?
A trivia for you. The first time one of these was described was in the mid-1500s. This is going to be, that's so broad, but I've got to take a couple guesses while I think of a hint. The first time one of these was described was in the mid-1500s.
What was like a comment?
No.
Was it something environmental?
No.
Wow. 1500s. Was it the guillotine?
I will give you this. It's a psychological disorder.
The first time this was described, somewhat dementia, Alzheimer's?
Nope.
It's a mental disorder? Yeah, that's a tough one, Val.
Oh, Scott, look behind you.
Yeah?
It's a spider, I think.
Arachnophobia? A phobia.
A phobia, yes.
A phobia. First time a phobia.
It was hydrophobia, which is the fear of water. First time it was described.
You get 10,000 points for that hint, Val.
Yeah.
All right. Loved by children. About 12 million of these are made each day, Val.
Loved by children. 12 million made each day. Is it a Lego?
There's so much choice for kids these days, but when me and you were kids, these were around, and you were always excited to get new ones at the beginning of the school year.
Oh. What would you...
We're talking grade school.
I don't know. What's that?
Talking grade school.
Like you're always excited to get them, and it's something for kids.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of what you'd be excited to have the first day of school.
You might get it before when you went, to get ready for school. You need your school shopping. You get these, and you're always excited to use them.
And use them. Is it like a new peachy or something like that? A little binder?
Kind of. It was extra disappointing for us because we never got the one with a sharpener from our mom.
Your pencil box?
No, something else that could come with a sharpener built into it, and Mom would never buy them for us.
Oh, my goodness. Why am I not getting this? I don't know.
They're colored.
They
come in a variety of colors.
Crayons?
Yes, crayons. It was like pulling teeth.
It was.
Yeah, about 12 million crayons are made each day. And I thought you'd get it when I got the hit because I'd always want the Crayola box that had the crayon sharpener. And Mom would never buy it. She'd always buy those generic crayons that were more like rocks that left a little color behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I guess I didn't specifically remember crayon boxes that came with a sharpener. I guess I didn't specifically remember that. I don't know why.
We had a whole...
Maybe that...
Yeah, we had a horrible childhood. Yeah. We grew up without crayon sharpeners.
You just color on one side till it sharpens and then try the other side and keep spinning them around until you break it.
Yeah. All right, that wraps it up. We are going to go to break. When we come back, we'll have today's local birthdays, some odd news, and much, much more. But you have to stay right here on Northern Lights Public Radio. We are KCHW 102.7. Don't move. Okay, move a little. You can have some coffee, but...
Put that cookie down now!
Yeah!
I'm the producer of the show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together on a stick and polish.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. Mama like to party with you and her belly.
So crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast for Tuesday, July 1st, 2025. I'm Mary Sherman. The Senate worked through a marathon amendment session to send President Donald Trump's signature spending bill to the Oval Office by July 4th. Shirley James is head of My Local CFO in North Carolina, which helps small businesses grow. She says the bill in Congress might have some benefits for small businesses, but also walks back investments in clean energy and inclusive entrepreneurship.
It includes sweeping changes that could offer short-term tax relief for many small businesses, but it also raises some serious concerns about long-term sustainability, consumer demand, and the ability for underserved businesses to absolutely thrive.
The bill comes as small businesses deal with cuts to the Small Business Administration, which saw more than 40% of its staff laid off as part of federal workforce cutbacks. The U.S. Supreme Court will consider arguments about removing spending caps between national political parties and individual candidates. Watchdogs are taking a close look to see what potential outcomes would mean at the state level.
The National Republican Senatorial Committee wants the court to lift restrictions on how much a political party spends on someone's campaign if they're running for federal office. Hillary Brasseth with the nonpartisan group Open Secrets says that's a big difference between the outcome of the controversial Citizens United ruling from 2010 concerning political action committees.
So nowadays in elections, we hear often about super PACs. These groups are able to spend unlimited amounts insofar as they don't coordinate directly with the candidate.
And if the court sides with the plaintiffs, limits on coordinated spending would be a thing of the past. I'm Mike Moen reporting.
The Trump administration is suing the city of Los Angeles over its immigration policies, claiming that the city's law discriminates against federal law enforcement. The city has been a key battleground in the Trump administration's clashes with Democrats over immigration. The mayor's office has not commented on the lawsuit. Nearly 30% of Gen Z college students decided where they would attend school based on at least partly political reasons, according to a new report.
The education consulting firm EAB found 14% of prospective students removed a school from their consideration list for being too conservative, and 12% did so for schools they deemed too liberal. Pam Royal with EAB says prospective students want their college to reflect their values.
They're eliminating certain institutions that they believe are misaligned with their political values.
These incoming students are part of what some call the anxious generation because of their increased mental health struggles. Royal says they tend to have a greater sense of anxiety, largely because of social media and pressure to make decisions in an environment with competing messages. I'm Catherine Carley.
This is Public News Service.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW. Chewelah, Colville, Kettle Falls.
KCHW is online at kchw.org. Listen to the live stream, find out about station events, memberships, local weather, and volunteering. You're listening to KCHW 102.7.
It's 8:25.
Programming on KCHW brought to you in part by New Health. New Health is dedicated to providing 5-star healthcare to communities across Northeast Washington. With locations in Chewelah, Colville, Ione, Loon Lake, Newport, 9 Mile Falls, and Springdale, they offer comprehensive medical, dental, pharmacy, and behavioral health services tailored to meet each patient's needs. Their team is committed to helping individuals and families live their healthiest lives. For more information or to schedule an appointment, you can call 509-935-6004. New Health, bringing healthcare into communities and communities into healthcare since 1978. And by Fired Up Pizza. Fired Up Pizza, located at 206 East Main Avenue in downtown Chewelah, offers craft beverages and brick oven-fired pizza, including a variety of sandwiches, salads, pasta, and homemade soups. Featuring weekly events such as bingo, karaoke, and live music. Fired Up Pizza also has space for your private event and offers both in-house and off-site catering services. Open daily at 11:30 a.m. for lunch and dinner. For more information, visit their Facebook page or contact Fired Up Pizza at 509-936-9121. Fired Up Pizza is a proud supporter of public radio in Stevens County.
Your KCHW morning show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Dell Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChewelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at ChewelahFlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
Welcome to 2025 Talks, where we're following our democracy in historic times.
This bill in its current form will betray the very promise that Donald J. Trump made in the Oval Office or in the cabinet room when I was there with finance, where he said we can go after waste, fraud, and abuse on any program.
North Carolina Republican Senator Tom Tillis was one of 2 Republicans to join Democrats in voting against advancing the budget reconciliation mega bill. Speaking from the Senate floor, he said in spite of White House assurances, his independent investigation found it would cost nearly 750,000 people in North Carolina their health coverage. The bill would cut almost $800 billion from Medicaid nationwide, taking 14 million people out of the program. Tillis's vote is one of his last, since he says he won't be seeking re-election. The White House was quick to counter the Republican stalwart's comments. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Tillis is just wrong about the bill's impacts.
It ensures able-bodied Americans who can work 20 hours a week are actually doing so, and that will therefore strengthen and protect those benefits for Americans who need it, cutting out the waste, fraud, and abuse, as well as getting 1.4 million illegal aliens off of the program.
But people who work with Medicaid or SNAP recipients say proposed work requirements are out of touch with reality. The bill would require proof of employment, volunteering, or school up to age 64, limit waivers for areas with high unemployment, and end many exemptions. But Vince Hall with Feeding America says almost everyone on these programs who can work is employed or looking for a job. In fact, they often have a second or third job.
The bad news is their wages, even with sometimes 2 full-time jobs, are so insufficient that despite how hard they are working, they are still unable to afford the basics of rent, food, and health care.
Cases of fraud in SNAP have grown in the last year, but still represent about 1.7% of transactions, and critics of the legislation argue the bill would do nothing to address the real problems, most often card skimmers or other point-of-sale theft. Responding to the budget bill, Georgia Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock calls it reverse Robin Hood, stealing from the poor to give to the rich.
I submit that a budget is not just a fiscal document. A budget is a moral document. Show me your budget and I'll show you who you think matters and who doesn't.
Budget watchdogs say the bill as revised would add $3.3 trillion to the national debt. Meanwhile, Canada is rescinding a proposed digital services tax on American tech firms, which had been set to take effect Monday. President Donald Trump had threatened to end all trade talks with the country. He says the U.S. relationship with Canada has been difficult, noting the country was foolish to implement this tax.
Economically, we have such power over Canada. I'd rather not use it, but they did something with our tech companies today trying to copy Europe. You know, they copied Europe. It's not going to work out well for Europe either, and it's not going to work out well for Canada.
He says the 3% tax would have a severe impact on businesses, including Amazon, Google, and Meta, even though it would represent only a tiny part of their operating revenues. I'm Edwin J. Vieira for Pacifica Network and Public News Service. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
Hey, how are you?
It's 8:30.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from
Colville Toyota. Colville Toyota, located at 160 West 3rd Avenue in Colville, offers new and used vehicle sales and service. Vehicle sales is open 8:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with a Toyota Express Maintenance Center open 7:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. More information on Colville Toyota's vehicle inventory and services is available at colvilletoyota.com. A small-town dealership with a big heart.
and by Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products, including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at chihuahuaflooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chihuahuaflooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7. Thanks for sticking with us on this Tuesday. A little long there. I missed some announcements earlier in the show, and I had to make good on those. We kick off this segment. Val, are you with me?
I am with you.
Oh, wow. You remember last week we had so many problems?
I know, and look how smooth everything is running today.
Shh. All right, looking at birthdays, local birthdays, we have none for July 1st. So if you have a birthday, this is a good chance where we remind you to get in on the Lions Club calendar. They do this for the whole valley, and you can enter birthdays, anniversaries, meetings for clubs, birthdays in memoriam. So we had none for today, but there was no morning show yesterday, and we had 3. We had Braden Herda, Kelsey Sulgrove, and Dean Martin.
Dean Martin?
Dean Martin. All right, so probably not the Dean Martin, but I dare you, if you see Dean on the street today, say, "That's amore." You think he's heard that before?
Bad.
All right, here comes Val with some celebrity birthdays, and Val, see if you can be equally bad.
Okay, I will try.
Okay.
I'll do my best. All right, Jamie Farr.
Okay.
Best known probably ever was an actor in MASH. He is turning 91 years old today.
All right.
All right, Debbie Harry, who is the lead vocalist of Blondie, 80 years old today.
Wow.
Dan Aykroyd, Saturday Night Live and Ghostbusters. Need I say more? 73 years old today.
Okay.
Alan Ruck, who's an actor that was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 69. Pamela Anderson. I mean, guys Scott's age all know who Pamela Anderson was, especially as she ran across the beach in Baywatch. She turns 58 today.
It did nothing for me.
Nothing. Henry Simmons, who is an actor, he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., 55. Missy Elliott, rapper and producer and Grammy winner, 54 years old today. Melissa Peterman was an actress. She was in Young Sheldon, 54. Claire Forlani, British actress, who was in Meet Joe Black, is 53. Liv Tyler, who is, she was in Lord of the Rings. I remember her best, I guess, in Armageddon. Also the daughter of Steven Tyler, 48 years old today. Hilary Burton, actress from One Tree Hill, is 43. Leah Seydoux,
Yeah.
she's a French actress who is in Blue is the Warmest Color and some of the Bond films, 40 years old today. And finally, Serenay Sarıkaya, who's a Turkish actress and model, is 33.
You got all the tough ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I butchered some of those names, too.
All right, on to history. We'll keep you educated. Starting off in 1910, Duncan Black and Alonzo Decker opened a machine shop in downtown Baltimore, making milk bottle cap machines. 6 years later, they hit it big with the first portable electric drill.
Wow.
Yeah, big as a car, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Portable, but yeah.
1916, Coca-Cola adopted its distinctive contoured bottle to set itself apart from the competitors. 1916. Wow. That's why it tastes so old. 1963, zip codes were introduced in the United States.
Doesn't it seem like something that would have been around longer than that?
How did you know where it was going before, people?
Yeah, exactly. Just,
Yeah.
I guess, by the city-state, but yeah.
Oh, carrier pigeon. All right, 1979, Sony introduced the Walkman. It sold for $200. Still have mine.
Really? I think Brad, I don't know if it's a knockoff or if it's an actual Walkman that he still has. Yeah.
1980, Oh Canada officially became the national anthem of Canada.
Oh, I wonder what it was before.
I don't know. 1984, the PG-13 rating was introduced by the MPAA. Let's see, 2010, in volume, BP's Deepwater Horizon oil spill took over Ixtok 1 to become the worst oceanic spill in U.S. recorded history.
Oh.
All right, 2015, I remember this guy. What a jerk. American dentist Walter Palmer shot and killed one of Zimbabwe's most beloved lions, Cecil. The Minnesota father of two shot Cecil in a national park. After the story went viral, Palmer released a statement. I hired several professional guides and they secured all the proper permits. To my knowledge, everything about this trip was legal and properly handled and conducted. Yeah, well, people rioted in front of his dentist office.
Wow.
I hope they're still doing it. 2018, LeBron James agreed to a 4-year, $154 million deal with the LA Lakers, moving from Cleveland to the Cavaliers. And 2021, Britain's Princes William and Harry unveiled a statue to their mother, Princess Diana, on what would have been her 60th birthday. And that is at the palace. And here comes Val. She's going to have to hold her breath. It's the beginning of the month. That means there's like a million things to tell you about for July.
That's right. We're going to start out with the special events that cover the whole month. So July is Cell Phone Courtesy Month. I guess that means leave the room when you get a call. Family Reunion Month. Fireworks Safety Month, which seems like a no-brainer. National Baked Bean Month. So if you want to, bone up on how to eat 45 or 10 pounds in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Now's the time.
That was crazy.
National Bison Month. National Blueberries Month. National Culinary Arts Month. National Doghouse Repairs Month. I thought it was just like National Doghouse Month, and I was going to say Scott spends a lot of time in there when he was married. National Grilling Month. National Horseradish Month. Do you like horseradish?
No. Actually, a little bit on a sandwich can be delicious, but that's the only way.
Yeah, I like the creamy kind, not just like.
Yeah, it's got to be mixed with a.
I like to put a little bit in my deviled egg mix, just a little bit. Give it a little zing. All right, National Hot Dog Month, National Ice Cream Month, National Purposeful Parenting Month, National Recreation and Parks Month, National Water Gardening Month, Roots and Branches Month, Smart Irrigation Month, and finally Social Wellness Month. All of the things you can celebrate throughout the month of July.
Woo!
How exciting. All right, then let's move on to the days for July 1st. It is American Zoo Day, Blink 182 Day.
And that doesn't mean
their own day.
It's this band. You don't need to blink 182 times.
Right. I'm just saying, so it's a band. How come they get their own day?
Because they're awesome.
Okay. All right. It is Canada Day. Oh, Canada, we're sorry for our president. Creative Ice Cream Flavor Day. Devotion to Duty Day. It is also Early Bird Day, Financial Freedom Day, Ginger Snap Day. So it should also be Dental Day, right after the Ginger Snap one, shouldn't it?
Yes.
International Chicken Wing Day. I can get behind that. International Joke Day, International Reggae Day, Joke Day. I guess it gets international and regular day. Madeira Day, Postal Workers Day, Second Half of the Year Day, Television Heritage Day, U.S. Postage Stamp Day, Wrong Trousers Day. Scott, man. Zip Code Day, as we talked about earlier.
Trousers.
Those are completely the wrong trousers for you, Scott.
That's right. I think anybody wearing trousers has the wrong trousers on.
There you go.
If you're calling
Who calls
them trousers
anymore?
You could just be wrong. I am down though. I've lost so much weight. I only have one pair of trousers that fit.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah. So
good for you.
Yeah, I'm all out there now.
What's your secret to your weight loss, Scott?
Diabetic medication helps you lose weight, and I wanted to lose some weight. So it's not all natural, but I went back on low doses of diabetic medication with the approval of my doctor just to lose weight.
And so is that like a metformin, something along that line?
Exactly. And as long as you eat lots of meat and get lots of exercise, you're pretty much guaranteed weight loss. I'm at right around 22 pounds in 2 months, so that's awesome.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Now,
I'm returning to a keto type of diet because I've gained so much weight. So that's the one that I generally do well on. I'm giving her a go again because some of these pounds got to come off.
Yeah, when I stop, I'll slowly, because I won't keep taking it, I'll slowly start probably gaining weight back again. But the last time I lost like 60 pounds, it was huge. And it took me 4 years to like have too much weight again. So, yeah, I guess if I have to do this every 5 years, it's okay.
I had a doctor once who said I was kind of that, insulin resistant. And so she put me on metformin, and it made a huge difference for me too. When she quit practicing, I couldn't get my next doctor to do it. And so, but it does. It definitely helps. If you're at our age, a menopausal woman, we all become insulin resistant at some point. So, it did help.
That's why you're grumpy.
Yes.
When you
That's
get
right.
grumpy. When you get
no
grumpy.
sugar.
No sugar for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number for the day, Val, is 9,000, and that is the age of the oldest piece of chewing gum ever found. Chewing gum was found in Finland under a table. The last part of that was a lie. But it probably was, right? Right?
Yeah.
Under a table?
Probably.
Where did they find it?
Got caught in school chewing gum.
Yeah. All right, fun story before we head to odd news. I love animal stories. They always make me feel good. Researchers have found that wild orcas have attempted to share their prey with humans on more than 30 occasions across 4 oceans and over the past 2 decades. Documented in a recent study, the encounters involving orcas approaching people with their body length and dropping freshly hunted prey right at their feet. Just like my cat.
Yes.
Yeah. Orcas, known as the ocean's top predator, poses large brains and exhibit advanced communication skills, social structures, and emotional intelligence. Now they even attack boats. Their cultural practices include food sharing, and researchers speculate these offerings to humans could be a form of exploration and curiosity about us. Researchers found the various orcas of all ages have attempted to share a variety of food, including sea otters, harbor seals, and my favorite, jellyfish. Just remember, orcas are not considered playful.
Yeah. If they're offering us jellyfish, though, is that really trying to be helpful?
Yeah, it's like I was having when I swam with the whales. I was having such a good time, and it was so cool. And then there's always one whale in the pod.
That's a jerk.
I can tell you from experience, there's always one whale. And when I asked that particular whale to give me a kiss, he punched me in the face so hard I saw stars.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just done playing with him.
Wow.
I'm going back to one of the girls. They were nicer.
Well, my cat brought me a mouse last night and dropped it on the, thank goodness it was dead, but dropped it on the living room floor and said, "Here, I brought this just for you."
Aw, yeah.
Yeah, but she brings the dog kills all the time.
Oh.
Yeah, so she catches a mouse and brings it for the dog.
My cat doesn't quite get the hunting thing. Now she killed one bird and I scolded her for it, and she's never killed another bird. But the other day she brought me an unhurt squirrel, and she trapped him in the corner of the house to play with it. but not viciously. She wasn't trying to hurt it. She wasn't biting it. She was just like, "I got a friend. Here it is. I'm bringing it in the house, Mr. Squirrel." What she brought in a shrew the other day. Doesn't hurt him, just brings him in the house. You know, maybe it's a late night snack kind of thing.
Maybe
I do
she
that with
needs a
McChickens.
sister or a brother.
Do you hear that late night snack? I do it with McChickens. All right, here we go. That's enough gabbing. I was just trying to fill up some time so we'd make it to the end of the show. And it is time for the end of the show.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. We say that all the time. Enjoy the show. And we try.
Yes. Give us a pity laugh here and there.
Yeah. We kick it off with the news attack, where the first sentence is true and the second sentence is a bad joke, and Val kicks it off.
The reviews for the newest Jurassic Park dinosaur movie aren't great. Are we surprised? No. Apparently, the franchise should have stayed extinct after the first one.
But it has that girl in it this time.
Yeah.
It has Black Widow in it. Scarlett Johansson.
It's never gotten, huge critic accolades or anything like that, right?
Right.
So I'm not surprised.
All right. If you haven't heard, though, Val, the reviews for the newest Jurassic Park dinosaur movie aren't great. In fact, T-Rex gave it 2 tiny arms down.
Americans eat 1 billion hot dogs in July, or roughly 8 pounds of real meat.
That's good. That's the equivalent of 8 pounds of real meat. The Royal Train in Britain will be decommissioned because it costs too much to operate and would have needed a significant upgrade. It's going to be weird seeing King Charles standing streetside waiting for an Uber.
We're heading into a long July 4th weekend.
Yes.
Which means the back-to-school commercials will begin airing any minute now.
Oh, yuck. All right, summer's here. Doctors remind us to be careful, not to leave babies, children, or pets locked in a closed-up car. However, you are encouraged to use the heat in your vehicle to your advantage. For example, cook a turkey while you're at work. I fried eggs on my hood of my black car once just because they said it couldn't be done.
Yes, I could believe that could be done.
And hood eggs are delicious, just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah.
There's another thing that you sometimes burn too, getting into a car, and that would be your butt cheeks.
Hot seat, hot seat, hot seat.
Hot seat. And I have leather seats in my car. And I keep telling Brad, we've got to get seat covers because I've left a pound of flesh on them already.
All right, let's move on to the world of wacky but true. We don't add anything to these stories, but some sound effects from TV and movies. And I guess I ended, so Val, you kick it off again.
In Spain, 2 men were arrested for burglary by officers responding to an emergency call. The suspects' getaway ended abruptly when, as they leaped off of a low balcony, one guy landed on top of the other and suffered a badly sprained ankle, while leaving his colleague with broken ribs, a broken collarbone, and a collapsed lung.
But he had a soft landing mostly. All right, let's go live to the scene.
Leaping into action!
Just go jump off a balcony.
What?
All right, come back inside. We'll hide on the balcony.
He specializes in jumps and leaps. So his chosen style is monkey kung fu.
Heavens to vegetables! I've been squashed!
You squashed it!
Yes, we're so delighted that you dropped in.
Mr. Death, please. This is exactly what fell on me the first time.
Your buddy? All right, almost as good. A group of teenagers in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, enjoying a slip and slide party to beat the summer heat when an unexpected guest arrived. UPS.
No.
The teen celebrated a high school graduation, invited the driver to join in the fun, and he accepted. Video captured the UPS driver, still in his uniform, sliding down the wet mat with the teens, exchanging high fives and fist bumps before continuing on his delivery route. That gives me a nice, warm summer fuzzy.
It does.
But I'm sure it was most like this.
He's out on the town, hitting the streets. This is a cat with the world at his feet, but he's cool.
He's cool.
He's calm.
He's calm. You know him?
Cool. Oh, hold on. I know him. He's cool. He's all right.
I hope so.
Yeah, well, he's cool. The only thing is he's a little weird.
That tunnel turns real tricky. Then you're going to slip and slide and slam yourself into the wall before you know it. So just take it easy.
That's cool. Like 20 minutes to learn that, man. He's quick, he's smart.
And he loves ketchup.
Yeah, he does.
And one more thing. Be nice to the delivery guy, would you? It's not his fault he can't read. Take care.
Oh, boy.
Sorry to all delivery drivers who had to endure that.
An intoxicated American tourist caused damage to an 800-year-old temple in Kyoto, Japan. Instead of entering through the main entrance, the man opted for a kitchen door and stumbled through the gardens. In a misguided attempt to explore, he climbed a wooden railing, causing the fragile structure to split. Although the temple notified the police, they chose not to file a damage report. Later that morning, the tourist returned sober and expressed remorse through a translation app, saying, "This was the biggest mistake of my life. I'm truly sorry." When asked about his actions, he simply stated, "I just wanted to see the temple."
First, I want you to go to the Jedi Temple.
You drunk?
No. But this ought to do it.
That won't happen again.
Let me be blunt. Are you still a fall-down drunk?
Huh? Jeez. What are you, drunk?
I hate him.
He's drunk.
How's it going, Nick?
I'm drunk.
Hey, Johnny, I just had a great idea. Let's go get drunk and puke on cars from the overpass.
Yeah, but I'm not drunk enough to go out on a boat.
Yes, you are.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Damn, your drunk tests are hard.
Sometimes the gods argue amongst themselves. Then great winds blow and temples fall.
Ooh, yes. Ooh. Wow. All right, you've probably seen one of those ginormous windmill turbine blades being trucked down a highway You ever seen that going down the freeway and they got?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's going on its way to a windmill farm somewhere. And on Monday, one of those blades detached from a tractor trailer on Interstate 70 in Washington County, Maryland.
Oh, no.
Yes, a giant blade crossed the median, obstructing traffic, and somehow only one person was injured. They were taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, so I can keep making jokes.
There you go.
On the 8 lanes of I-70, 7 were closed. Because, well, they're really big, right?
They're huge.
Yeah.
Hey! Have you seen me? They're ginormous!
It dices, it slices, and yet makes French fries in 3 different.
The windmill! Stop! The windmill! We're going past 50, you'll never make it!
Normally I go out with girls who talk so much you can hook them up to a wind turbine and they could power a small New Hampshire town.
Oh. Well, we know where it was going now. And the very last story today about whispering. So you're going to have to listen really close. It's about whispering.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, whisper.
Whispering. Okay.
A man in France was banned from a public library after staff and patrons complained he whispered every word, even outside the reading areas. He claimed it was a lifestyle choice and a tribute to silence. But his constant whispering to others and to himself turned out to be more distracting than a normal voice. His ban from the library will last 6 months.
Shh.
Quiet.
Oh, sorry.
Why are you whispering? It's for dramatic emphasis. Excuse me, beloved. And whispering so as not to upset the ladies.
I like to whisper too. Just before she died, she whispered a name. Sebastian. Sebastian. Sebastian.
And he said to me, he whispered, he said, this is a magic ticket.
Maximus, let us whisper now. Together, you and I.
Shut up, Wesley.
Let us whisper now. You and I.
You and I. Lean in closer.
Okay. All right. Are you picking up the heavy, creepy vibe yet? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm picking up a heavy.
Started at the beginning of the show.
Oh, yeah. Strangely enough, you pick up a creepy vibe every Tuesday. All right, we want to thank you for being here. Remind you that tonight on the radio, it is the one and only Dr. Jazz, bringing you 3 hours of cool jazz music. And sometimes he puts special themes with them. So that's 6 to 9. Every night at 6, we start different genres of music. So it changes every night of the week. After Dr. Jazz tonight at 9 o'clock, you get a couple hours of soul music. It's the Soul Motown show. And check that out, 9 to 11. Then tomorrow morning, you've got Chuck Ritchie and Sharon Ludwig giving you all the details about everything that's happening around town. You can tune into them about 7:20, 7:25 as well. Val, did you have, we never asked you if you had any notes out of Deer Park. I know you volunteer for the Eagles and you guys had a big Father's Day event. Anything else coming up?
You know, coming up, we are going to, I don't know if everybody knows in the area about the big Settlers Day weekend. And we have some events going on at the Eagles. If you're interested in finding out about those, you can go to facebook.com/DP Eagles 3564.
All right, very cool. Does Deer Park do a big fireworks show? I know they have in the past.
They used to do a huge one, but it just hasn't been something that we've really paid attention to, I guess, since the kids are grown. But they used to always have a big one at Perrins Field, and sadly, I can't tell you whether that's going on or not.
You know, my favorite place to watch fireworks anytime, I think one of the best spots you can get is if you have a friend at a lake or a place at the lake. It's absolutely, I know, like Loon Lake and Deer Lake, absolutely crazy to go out there and watch the fireworks, especially if you've got a cabin or a spot, where you get a wide view of the lake. It's crazy the amount of fireworks going off. And then, people with lake cabins, they usually have extra money to blow. because they got a lake cabin, so they buy like the really big fireworks and
That's right. That's right. I'm looking really closely at notes, and I can't tell if that's this year because they don't have a date on it, but it appears, you can tell how long it's been since I've been to a fireworks show in Deer Park, that they do that now up at the high school.
Okay.
So if anybody's interested, you might want to go ahead and take a look at the Deer Park local website and see if they are doing that again this year.
Or if you have a friend that, has a cabin, maybe go to the lake.
There you go. And, it's kind of fun to be floating around out on the lake, too, while that's going on, right? Get the full effect.
Yeah, I did it one year. We went on Lake Spokane. We put LED lights all over the boat. And, yeah, I did have some fireworks in the boat. That was a bad idea.
Sounded like a good idea at the time.
It did. And for the first 3 mortars, it worked out flawlessly. I had one of those boat seats that float. With the handles, one of those old school ones. It's like a pad for your seat, but it also has handles. If you went overboard, you could hold on to it. And I was dropping the mortars in the tube and giving that. I had a rope tied to that little seat, and I'd give it a push out on the water, and the mortar to go off. Well, on the very last one, I pushed it a little too hard. It went out to the end of the rope, and it snapped back. And before the mortar went off, it came all the way back into the boat, and the mortar went off and caught the lip of the boat on the side. And basically just showered us in an explosion of sparks.
Oh, no.
But, it didn't hurt the boat. And it didn't hurt us. And nothing caught fire. So I call that a great 4th of July.
A win-win.
Yes. But the best thing I saw, so, Lake Spokane, really long. It's the river. And we're out there watching the fireworks. And here comes a guy in a little runabout boat with the canvas top. And he's clipping down the lake at probably around 28, fast enough to pull a skier.
Okay.
And you can see in the back of the boat, he's got a huge box of fireworks, and he must have just started one because things are shooting out of the box as he's going down the river, and he's not stopping. I don't know if he'd wired it like that, but it was one Roman candle, mortar, rocket. Just every second stuff was shooting out of the back of his boat, and I thought, well, I was dangerous, but that guy's insane.
Somebody more dangerous than me.
Wow, somebody dumber than me. Hats off to you, buddy. But that was one of the most impressive scenes, a boat going 28 miles an hour with fireworks coming out of the boat, and the driver couldn't he was just giving everybody a show. It was awesome.
Oh, as long as somebody was having fun.
That's right. That's right. And remember, if you're watching online, look what happens to those thumbs. Be careful of those M80s.
Exactly.
And when you want to know what I showed, you'll have to watch the video. Other than that, we want you to have a great day. I'm Scott. Who are you?
I'm Val.
That's my beautiful sister. Say goodbye, Val.
Goodbye. Everybody have a safe and happy 4th of July.
Definitely. We'll see you next week. Have a great one, and keep on listening to Northern Lights Public Radio. Thanks, sis. Love ya. I really want you to watch your fingers, because chances are you don't have extra digits.
Self-destruct in 20 seconds. This is your last chance to push the cancellation button.
It's 9:02.
Your KCHW morning show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall